Hello and welcome back to Bookish, and welcome to another Saturday Hodgepodge in which I just talk about bookish things I'm doing, bookish things I've noticed. The first thing I want to talk about is a documentary I just saw about Toni Morrison. It's called The Pieces I Am. I found out about this document from Greg over at Supposedly Fun. Obviously you should check out his channel. And I think he tweeted about it, or maybe it was in one of his videos. Sorry, Greg, I don't remember exactly where. And this is the first time I've ever heard of this documentary. I'm a fan of Toni Morrison's work. I've read several of her books, and I watched this thing, and I was just so blown away. It was 2 hours of just really nothing but kind of awe, respect for a human being. There were various points at which I just kind of teared up over over just the grace, the humanity, the beauty, the kind of marvel that Toni Morrison was, not just as a writer, but as a public figure and everything she represents. If you've never read Toni Morrison, you really should, and I'm definitely going to try to be a completist when it comes to Toni Morrison now. I've read Beloved, I've read Jazz, I read Song of Solomon, I read Paradise, but now I want to read all of her work because it's just truly amazing. I think that she and James Baldwin are two of the greatest writers of the second half of the 20th century, and for her the early years of the 21st century. Just incredibly powerful writers. If you haven't seen that documentary, or if you're curious about Toni Morrison at all, let me just encourage you to, if you have an Amazon Prime membership, it's a 99-cent rental, and you can watch it. And if that doesn't make you want to read more of Toni Morrison's work, then I just don't know. I remember when she won the Nobel Prize in 1993. I remember that after that I went out and I bought Beloved. I believe I'd already read a couple of her books, but I went out and I bought Beloved and I read it, and I emailed or I wrote a letter. It might have been that long ago. I can't remember. Let's say I wrote a letter to one of my best friends, one of my kind of people that we both read books and talked about books in person a lot during college and immediately after that. And I said, "You really have to read this book. It's extraordinary. It's so different." And his response was, "Well, I don't really think I'll read it. You know, I know what it's about, and I feel like I've read that before. I feel like other authors have covered that before." And I tried to convince him that wasn't true. I don't know if that was true or not, but I promise you, if you haven't read Beloved, if you haven't read Toni Morrison, you haven't read anything like this before. There are authors who've come after her who are influenced by her, which may remind you of her, but there's nothing like Toni Morrison. So that was the first thing that I wanted to talk about today. Just encourage you to watch that, and to I think you'll gain an incredible appreciation for Toni Morrison, her work, and who she was. The next thing I want to talk about is my NaNoWriMo update. So here's the update. I'm failing. I think as of today I should probably, geez, I don't even know. I should be approaching 10,000 words. I don't have half of that. I haven't written anything for the last few days for various reasons, which I know, those devotees of the NaNoWriMo process would possibly feel like, I just let things get in the way of my writing. Fine, fair. But it occurred to me, and in thinking about and kind of feeling bad about failing at NaNoWriMo, it occurred to me that I'm approaching this wrong. This isn't the fault of the NaNoWriMo people. This was the fault of me. That essentially, as much as the imperative to write maybe should be there, if it's not fun, and I don't mean it has to be fun every minute, but if it's not fun, if it's not something I'm looking forward to, then maybe having a goal of writing a certain number of words every day isn't for me. Maybe that's just not how I write. I saw Marc at Richardson Reads talk about how much joy the writing process was giving him in his NaNoWriMo update. And I watched a video where Britta Bohler did a chat kind of about her writing. And it occurred to me that that's okay. That if I don't get to 50,000 words, and I'm sure all the NaNoWriMo people would agree that that's okay. that not everybody is going to achieve that. I'm not trying to excuse those of you who feel like this does work for you, but books aren't written all the same way. There isn't a magic formula. Again, I'm not suggesting the NaNoWriMo people say it is. They're just trying to encourage you to write. But there isn't a magic formula. There isn't a word count. There isn't an approach, pantser, planner, plotter that works for everybody. And everybody's individual approach to writing, just like everybody's individual approach to everything, varies. So I actually like the writing project I started. I have some curiosity about where part of it... Weird noises. I am confused about, and not clear about where it's going to go, and that part is something that makes me want to keep pursuing my writing project. But I'm just not going to hit 1,600 words a day. There's no reason for me to pretend that I am. And I'll keep working on it this month, but maybe my project will be more like a NaNoWriMo National Novel Writing Year, or maybe it's just a let's see, a NaNoWriMo, my novel writing year. But anyway, I'm going to keep working on it, but I'm not going to, because I don't think it's just right for me, I'm not going to try to, or beat myself up for not hitting that word count. The other thing I want to do today is do some shout-outs. I usually do shout-outs during this, and one of the things I want to do today in my shout-outs is I want to shout out channels that are close to 1,000 subscribers. So if you've been watching these, my theme of these shout-outs is to, shout out channels which I think should have way more subscribers than me. And so that's kind of what I want to do today. And I'm going to take kind of the dangerous approach, I think, of doing like a 5-word thing to try to get you more interested in these channels if you haven't already heard of them. So I'm going to announce the name of the channel and perhaps the person whose channel it is, and then give you 5 words, which I hope will make you curious about their channels and want to go over there. So the first channel I want to do is Books I'm Not Reading. This is Kelly's channel, and my 5 words about Kelly are kind, insightful, Wyoming read-alongs, classics. Those are my 5 words about Kelly and her channel, Books I'm Not Reading. The next channel I want to shout out is Laura Frey's channel. I hope I said your name right, Laura. Laura Frey's channel. She's really close to 1,000 subscribers, so I wanted to shout that out. And so my 5 words for Laura Frey's channel are mother, cool, edgy, Canadian, irreverent. I really think that oftentimes Laura's approach to books is just really like note perfect amount of irreverence and kind of a clear-eyed view of books and things like that. The next channel is Marc Nash. Marc Nash is also really close to 1,000 subscribers, so if you haven't checked his channel out, please find the link below. My 5 words for his channel are writer, opinionated, experimental, reviews, and modern authors. That's really 6 words, but I cheated. The next channel is Hardcover Hearts. This is a channel hosted by Sarah, so my 5 words for her are California, organized, calm, busy, brilliant. The next channel I want to shout out is Kazin's channel, Always Doing. I think she's somewhere in the 800s or 900s also. So my 5 words for her channel are expat, nonfiction, Japan, manga, no bullshit. Again, 6 words. Sorry, I cheated. The next channel on my list is Alex Black's channel. That's her channel name. My 5 words are, let's see, YA, vlogs, book reviews, cats, classics. Next channel is Todd the Librarian's channel. That's the name of the channel, Todd the Librarian. So my 5 words for him are author, Kentucky, wisdom, down-to-earth, Renaissance man. Again, that's way more than 5 words. Okay, not only did I fail at NaNoWriMo, but I failed at the 5-word challenge. I don't care anymore. And then my last channel is everybody's, if you know her channel or follow her on Twitter, she's, I think, pretty much everybody's favorite person. And that's Amy from Amy Gets Lit. And so my 5 words for her are kind, wise, innovative, independent, and in-depth discussions. there you go. So those are the channels I wanted to shout out. A lot of those people are really kind of on the cusp of 1,000 subscribers, and they certainly deserve that. I'm not sure that they want the subscribers or not. I'm not sure if they're even subscriber oriented. Certainly none of them asked me to do this. But they are definitely people who create content that I think is better than mine, and I really hope that you will go check out their channels if you haven't already and subscribe to them. Anyway, there you go. That's my Saturday Hodgepodge for today. As always, look forward to your comments in the comment section below, and thank you for watching.